that people feel that I'm a big guy and I'm very hard to talk to, but feel free, I don't eat human up. I eat normal food, and at the same time I don't bite. So feel free to pop your question or stop me along the way and just ask any questions. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Zack, for being there. I'm Siraj from Torch also.
Hi,
So,
Siraj.
actually, I will come in with that part. Maybe you can chat. You can try to share. You say you
Okay.
eat normal food.
Yeah, I do.
Normal to me is junk processed food, bro. So,
But
maybe I don't think you do that. So, also do share about your diet, like or I would say what we should be eating, or what we should be
okay,
careful about eating.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Siraj. Okay, that is quite a common question that is being asked whenever we talk about fitness and when we relate back to diet, you see. Whenever a muscle guy like me or someone that comes from a fitness profile or background like me, when I say, oh, diet, people get very scared. They think that, oh, I'm gonna eat raw chicken breast, or I'm gonna cook boiled chicken breast. I'm gonna eat eggs like the bodybuilders, and then I'm gonna drink a lot of protein, and everything. But to be honest, you see, in the body itself or in the particular diet itself, there is this thing that we call macro and micro nutrition. You see, I'm just gonna keep the words. I'm just gonna keep the word as easy as I can. Yeah, pardon my sport science talk and everything. I'll try to keep it as general as possible. So when we talk about macronutrition or micronutrition, it means that the body doesn't just depends on those particular food itself. Okay. First thing first, everyone need to know firstly how much body fats do you guys have, how much water level does your body have, how much muscle mass percentage does your body have, how heavy is your bone density, and at the same time, how much metabolism does your body able to burn in the whole day. Because that is very important. When you have all these factors, actually there are more, but these are the four general factors that I will always emphasize, because when you understand these four particular statistics, it's easier for you to plan out your diet. And when we talk about a healthy diet, it doesn't have to be just 100% like what we do. Yes, when we talk about when I was an athlete or when I was competing and everything, it's a whole different kind of dietary, because there's a particular target and particular competition to actually achieve certain performance and so-called looks at a particular time. But for normal human being or for normal healthy people like you guys, you don't have to actually worry about that. Yes, in this current world with the whole food and ecosystem and everything, I can say that unless you live in an old kampong whereby you slaughter your chicken yourself or you have cows in your farm, then you can actually be proud to say, yes, these are all so-called healthy food, using or organic as possible. But the thing is that with the whole new so-called business and stuff, I believe that every food will somehow be processed or will be made in a factory, will actually be put to a certain chemicals to actually extend the lifespan of that particular food. Okay, but by saying that, it's not bad, because the thing is that I believe that we have a food and development authority also to actually check what is the particular thing that is suitable for a human body and what is not. And I believe if it's not, it wouldn't be sold over at the market or at a particular supermarket and everything, you see. So the only thing to look out for usually in those kind of macronutrients, now we go into detail. The first part was actually about your body, and then now we talk about your micronutrition, which is proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Okay, these are the three general things that when you eat certain food that you need to look out for. Because if not, I would suggest that there is a particular app that we call it look up for it at your Google App Store or probably your Apple Store for those iPhone users. I'm a Samsung user, so pardon me if my Apple language is not that good. So look up for this particular app that is called MyFitnessPal. Okay, this MyFitnessPal is a very, very useful app. Even Under Armour actually decides to actually venture or invested into this particular app when they started. Okay, because why this app is so good that it have a scanner. First thing first, it have a scanner. So that means when we talk about scanner, means anyone around the world scans one particular code on one particular food, you will get the whole when you scan it on the other side, you will get the whole stats of the food. So like how much amount does this per serving food actually supposed to be given, and then out of that per serving, how much protein, how much fats, how much actually more details like sodium, salt, sugar, and everything is inside it. So it's very wonderful. But that's not the whole point. The best thing is that it gives you a customized check for your whole so-called body diet to start off with. Because when you enter your age, your height, your so-called your target, how much do you want to gain, or how much do you want to lose, or how much do you want to maintain, the system of that MyFitnessPal will actually act like a pilot trainer to actually customize so-called that whole breakdown for you. And then you can actually twitch here and there if you want to make adjustment. And then from there, actually it's easier, because why, you can start to break down for your whole day of diet. And then you can feel less stressful when you eat certain stuff, because everything is in the tip of the hand. So I personally use that back then, because I would like to actually make sure that everything I eat, I understand what I eat, because it's very important. Because it's just like business. You see, this is how I relate it back to business. It's just like business, because whenever there's a transaction in your business, whenever there's a traffic for cash flow, for your profit, for your loss and everything, you would want to know the statistic of it. You don't just want to close one eye, this is fine, or that is fine, you see. So you should relate that the same to your body. Whatever that you you fit into your body, you're supposed to actually understand, and you're supposed to actually be really sure what is going on. And if you're not sure, then you better have a proper backup, or at the same time you have a proper check of what you're doing. Because if not, once the food is being digested, there's no way that you can actually stiff in your hands into your tummy bag, and then remove it back, and then try to so-called cancel the whole food that you eat and everything. Whatever goes in just come out again. And that's easy. It sounds easy. Whatever goes in comes out. But the thing is that whatever that comes out are just debris, are all the wastage. But whatever that is dirty in the food, it will somehow be remain in the body. Because you see, the fantastic thing about the human body is that it doesn't just absorb all the good stuff and nutrition, it absorbs all the bad stuff also. Because somehow our body are made to be able to need all those bad stuff also, for your fuel in the whole day, for your energy, for some certain function, like for your brain, for your blood flows and everything. So it has to be a balance of both, actually. So that's why I'm actually advising that you guys might want to try that app. And if there's anything that you guys are not sure about, we can always relate back to me, and then we can always have a discussion on it, online or offline about it. It is a great app, actually. So other than that, when we talk about diet, it just have to be a balance. First thing first, stop believing that the lesser you eat means the better it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't work that way. Okay, people always have this common thinking, maybe I'll just skip breakfast, I'll just have coffee, and then maybe when I'm hungry in the late noon, or maybe in the evening when I'm feeling hungry, I'll eat. But by then, the amount of metabolism that is left in your body is just this tiny bit. And then I promise you, by then you'll be feeling super hungry, and you wouldn't eat this tiny bit. You see, you're left with this tiny bit, but you'll be eating this amount of food. So when it goes inside your body, the body is not able to burn it. And when it's not able to burn it, and when you're not exercising, it just so-called slows down. And then when it slows down, it makes you feel really full. And at the same time, you feel like, I'm feeling sleepy, I'm feeling tired, because your body is not functioning like how it's supposed to be. So one thing to look out for when we talk about diet is actually a balance of healthy food and a mixture of certain so-called dirty food. But when we talk about dirty, make sure it's try to keep it as non-processed as possible. When I'm saying non-processed, means try to get food that you are pretty much sure that it's made out of pure organics item. For example, if we talk about chicken, you try to choose a chicken part rather than a chicken cutlet, then popcorn chicken, all the tasty stuff with the whole KFC, McDonald's kind of content, because those food are actually already being push out of their organics, because they have like flour on it, they have a certain kind of oils in it, they have certain taste in it. So these are what I relate to processed food. So other than that, actually, when you buy a chicken wing, and then when you grill your chicken wing, you cook it with chilies, you put onions, garlics, and everything on it, that's fine. That's fine, as long as you try to keep it as organic as possible. So that's why I always emphasize, if you want to eat out, fine, make sure that you find a place that you're pretty much sure that they use all these kind of items. But if not, then better not waste it. I used to be that kind of person whereby I go to every food store, I would actually ask them, like I'm auditing them, you see, like, oh, where does your chicken come from? Where does your beef come from? Do you guys use what oil? This oil? I used to be that person, you see, because I wanna be really cautious. I don't want to lose all the hard effort, because the thing is that, like I said, it's very easy to lose your performance, your health state, your immune systems, your even so-called your physique. But the thing is that to build it up, it takes a bigger courage. It takes a bigger effort and a bigger will, actually. So why give it up over one particular chicken taste or one particular so-called craving of food, when actually you've been working for your whole life to be at your best, actually. Because at your best, it doesn't relate to age. You can be at your best at any age, to be honest. In fact, the other time when I had a meeting with Siraj, I shared to him that an uncle of mine who have never done any sports, who have never done any particular so-called physical activity, he came to me at the age of 58 years old, actually. And he was like, yo, Zack, I would like to take part in a bodybuilding competition for a 58-year-old man. Okay, so I was like, at first I was a bit skeptical, because I'm concerned he's my uncle. If he's not, then it's fine. I would take his money, I would take his project, and I will work on it. So I told him that it's gonna be a whole lot of different level of effort, because the thing is that you're not young anymore, and you have never had any profile of history of being an active man or a sportsman. But the thing is that his will and drive was so high that actually we managed to achieve his best look in a year, actually, of training, like particularly about 5 times a week. And now at the age of 60, he's 63, by the way. He's from Singapore. So actually, I've sent him only for one local competition in Singapore, and he won it for the masters category. That means he's competing with anyone that is above 45 years old to as old as they can be. So when he won his first local competition, he recognized that I like doing this. So he quit his job, and then he started his own business, and then he tried to juggle training, even though he have to be at 11 p.m. or as early as 5 or 4 a.m. with me. He make it happen. And then at this age right now, he's not just a local or national in Singapore for masters category, so-called Mr. Singapore for master level. He's in fact a Mr. Asia right now for Mr. Asia for his masters category in bodybuilding. So that's how much actually the body can actually push as much as you want to be. There's no limit, to be honest. But it's a matter of actually it's in the mind. It's in the mind, it's in the will. So the whole thing, why people always struggle with this is because they don't have a concrete plan, I would say. And the distraction nowadays is too much, I would say, compared to back then. Because back then in the common Arnold days, it's very old school, you see. They don't have smartphone, they don't have all the YouTubes, no particular internet. So everything was tested and so-called based on a try and error manner, whereby now there's a lot of distraction. One time, if you open up just a YouTube, just type how to lose fat, you will see millions of people trying to speak how to lose fat. But the thing is that how do we justify which one is the real one? You see, you possibly can't. You will try the next one. This one doesn't work, and then this thing is not just a distraction. It makes people become much more lazier. To be honest, it encourages people in a good way, but it discourages people in a bad way. Because when everything is at the tip of my finger, and I just type in my phone, or how to lose fat, if this particular person doesn't work, or maybe his video is too long, okay, you know what? Let's look for another one, or let's try another one. And then when you keep on changing plan, you need to remember every minutes, every hours, or every day and month matters, you see. As time moves on, you get older. And when you get older, everything goes slower. And there you are still trying to figure out, oh, how do I do this? So actually the best way is actually to look for a professional, get a real professional, get the advice, customize your own plan. Because this is, I know ladies have dresses that they call it free size, you see. But in fitness, there is no free size right here. You need to customize your own program. You need to customize your own plan based on your body. Because what we're working here is not on materials or not on subjects. Actually, is you are the thing that we are working on. So it really falls down to how much do you want it, and it really matters on how much do you value your health and fitness actually? If let's just go on a simple scale. We talk about from $1 to priceless. Can I get someone from here to say that you have a value for your health and fitness? Or everyone here would agree that, okay, look, my health and fitness is priceless. Well, what do you all think? Anyone want to give a value?
Yes, of
Yes.
course, there's
How,
a
how much?
value.
How much does your body cost, or how much can I, if I'm a rich businessman, I come to you, look, Zah, I would like to offer you some amount to take your health and fitness, sell it to me. How much do you want to price it? Or you're not going to sell it and you're going to say, look, my health and fitness is priceless, it's everything to me? Which one?
I'll take that. It's priceless.
Prices, right? So you
Yes.
see, when we talk about prices, that is a good thing, because from there we know that you appreciate and you are concerned about your body, because nobody want to struggle. You see, the struggle you do in the gym, the struggle you do in your so-called fitness today, it actually will pay you off in the future, because it's for just an hour in the gym, for probably like 3 times to 4 times a week, or even half an hour for a certain program, just to keep up your fitness and to maintain your fitness. So it's not going to be hard, because the moment I've me as an athlete also doesn't mean I'm so superior. You see, I've landed myself in hospital before. I had broken legs, I had broken bones, I had everything happen in the past few years. So the thing is that when you are in there, it's the pain is totally on a different level. You see, and when you know you're lying on a so-called on a hospital bed, helpless, and you can't do much. It's even worse than being tired in the gym, and then you will start to think, oh, I should have done it back then when I could. You see, so that's the thing that we don't want to look out for. We wanna make sure that you have done the hard work before you even turn to regrets, you see. And when regrets happen and a lot of time is being wasted, there's no way of turning back. So actually a very simple point. It's a pyramid, you see. It's all about sleep, it's all about exercising, and it's all about diet. Okay, but I'm just going to share with you based on this so-called pyramid scale of 3 breakdowns. You see, pyramids usually have the bigger base, the middle one, and the small at the top. You see, so usually people would think, oh, when I'm working on my fitness, it means exercise is the big one at the bottom, or even diet is the one at the bottom. But to be honest, it's not. And I'll go to that in a short while. I'm just going to speak the middle one first. So the middle piece would actually, people will still think, oh, it's exercising because I need to work on my muscle, but it's still not actually. Diet falls down in the middle lane, actually, to be honest. And exercise falls under that small amount at the top, because they would like to emphasize how little time actually you need to put into actually exercise every day, which is easy. And diet comes after that in the bigger scale, because you need to work on your diet. And the bigger base actually at the bottom, which is something that I don't know if everyone can agree that we are all struggling with at this age or older, which is sleeping. Sleeping is the key point, to be honest. Okay, sleeping is the key point, because the thing is that without recovery, without so-called putting your body in a sleep mood, your body, your hormones, and all your immune system couldn't recover, couldn't so-called stabilize, and couldn't refresh again. And when they couldn't, they need to put it on hold and try again the next day when you try to put yourself to sleep again. And the more you deprive yourself from sleep, the worse it gets. So there is one trick that actually even Cristiano shares. He sleep more than 8 hours in a day, to be honest. But that's because he have the luxury of life, lah. Yeah, I'm not telling everyone here, look, guys, sleep 14 hours a day or just go back and sleep right now. Don't get me wrong. We are all business people, and I understand that that's not possible. But the thing is that there's always possible for you to make up for it, like naps in between, an hour nap when you're shortage of 8 hours, and then actually try to go to bed on a certain timing. The key point is try to keep it consistent. Try to have a plan, try to keep it consistent, and try to maintain it on a similar basis. Yeah, sometimes weekends you have to go out and everything, but then again, we are speaking during this so-called pandemic. It's actually an advantage for you, because you get to work from home. That is one thing. Everything's get to go on a digital side. That is another good thing. And the third thing is that you have time actually to work on your fitness. So this can never be a better time actually. And even when during this so-called COVID, every country actually emphasized on this. Actually, exercise is the key point. Exercise is the recovery to actually the prevention to actually getting into the whole coronavirus or COVID, I would say. But the thing is that it takes a lot of effort. If you already been doing it before it's going to be an advantage for you. But if you have never and then you want to try, this is where I'm here to tell you that you should go for it, but don't get lost with it, because like I said, YouTube, Facebook, all this Google and everything can get you on a totally bonkers manner. You can go in and you'll be like, oh my god, there's too much information and I can't absorb anything. I want to try this, but I want to try this also. Oh, I want to do this because this superstar is doing this. Oh, this actor is doing it. Is it so? Like I said again, refer back to your professional, get a good professional, ensure that he has a certain qualification and he have done a certain point of sports and everything to a certain level. Then you will know that actually he's not just a textbook trainer, but actually he have been living that lifestyle as a trainer. That's very important, because some trainer, they are good, but they are only good in knowledge, but they don't practice it. And I don't believe in that. Even in my gym, I don't have such trainer, because I don't believe in that, because this is not like a school. You're just being a teacher. You teach details of books and information. This is something that is related to physical. So if you as a professional, you don't live or you don't do that lifestyle as a fitness person, how can you actually make sure that, or how can you actually ensure that your clients will get the result, or how can you actually be sure that you can actually get your clients the particular transformation or the fitness thing that the particular person would want to do. So it's very important that your trainers must have a certain so-called, I wouldn't say looks, because looks can be very deceiving also. I would say that make sure that he comes from a certain background of so-called sports profile, and then at the same time make sure that he's properly qualified to be a trainer. Because one thing also I got to say that in this big industry right now, it has changed a lot. And in some of the biggest mega gyms, actually they don't really recruit professional anymore, because it's a business. They have bigger rents to pay and everything. So it wouldn't be a surprise that they are recruiting some salesmen to represent as a trainer, because they want to make sure that these people, it doesn't matter about the looks. I just want to make sure that you can actually sell this member a membership, and you can actually upsell this person this certain kind of so-called program, make the money for the company. The rest doesn't matter. It's not your fault, you see. So be particular sure of who you're looking for, where do you find it, and then everything else will come in place from there. You will get less confused. You will have a plan. When you have a plan, we relate back to business. You see, you can never start a business without a business model. And when you don't have SOPs for your business, it doesn't make sense either. So it's the same. You can't enter fitness just like how you can't do business without a proper so-called strategy. And you don't want to risk it either, because when you talk about risking it, you might lose your capital money, you might lose your all your investments in this particular business. Same goes for fitness. One wrong movement, one wrong try, one particular wrong supplements and everything could cost you a lot of things: cardiac arrest, broken bones, injured parts, torn tissues, and a lot of even permanent disability, you see. That is something that we can relate. That's why I always say that fitness and business is actually a similar thing. I would have this saying that it's same but different. Okay, it's same but different. So it's actually the same thing. And anyway, the two ending, we have the same thing with a double S at the back for both. So they didn't create that for nothing, you see. So yeah, we just I would pause here for a while. I will see if Zaha or even Siraj have any questions for me. After that, I'll move along. So how, guys?
Okay, Zach, thank you so much for your sharing. Uh,
No
yeah,
problems.
I think now I feel like I should start doing training. Just to
Okay.
share you a little bit of my history.
Okay.
In 2013, 2013, I was almost 100 kilos. Yes, and fortunately, I met a friend and happened to be a trainer.
Okay,
So
that's
I
good.
so I went for the training. It's called HIIT.
IIT. Yeah.
Yes, and I cut rice. I cut sugar.
Okay.
In 1 month, I lost 8 kilos. in 3 months, I lost 20 kilos.
That's a good result actually.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
Yes,
How
is
many times of training were you attending during that period?
the first month was on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So morning walk,
Okay.
and then the HIIT we do it after work.
After work in the evening and kind after office hour lah.
Yes.
Okay.
So well, the focus was literally on losing the weight and look good. And of course, as you go along and you got your result, and being human, oh, I got my result again.
Of course, of course, of course.
All right, you skip trainings and whatnot. And yeah, it has been what, 7 years. Well,
Okay.
of course, you gain back, and then you want to start over. Yes, the question is that how you make, how you make your I would say your client
Okay.
or yourself to
Mhm.
maintain it, and then to restart it, because it's always lazy to start again.
Of course.
And then
Okay.
that's the
The question,
what,
is it?
yes, the question.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, thank you for the question, and that's a very impressive story, and that's great. Okay, but this is how I do things on a different manner, and this is how I'm just gonna actually share with you guys. It's never a right thing, or it's neither a wrong thing, to be honest. But it's a matter of like who done it and how you do it. Okay, so first thing first, when a client before the client stop, let's talk about when the client just started and was gonna build when he's gonna hit his so-called prime period or his best so-called point of fitness. Okay, so usually when the person develop it, first thing first, I for me itself, every one of my client would have a customized check-in with me on based on diet, not just on training itself. So that means the client every day would have actually to report to me via a certain private app that we create, what time that that person eats. We will plan actually everything down to details. Like, okay, look, today we're gonna have 6 meals and we're gonna have 3 small snacks in between. What is gonna be the calories and each particular meal? What is gonna be the protein, fats, and so-called carbohydrates and everything? We will go right to that kind of details, and then the client would actually build it up, and I would actually assess it at every meal, and to ensure that, look, before things goes too late, let's change this now, let's stop this food, let's substitute this, because sometimes things would happen. We can, to be honest, I can just print out something from Google and just, okay, this is a good diet, but the thing is that there's not going to be a quality thing. So I actually go I make that effort to actually go into details, like, okay, these are the food. And then sometimes when the client could not do it, maybe he or she is out for meeting, or maybe he or she is at school, or particular in a certain zone that they don't have that kind of luxury. So I will come up with an alternative. Okay, that means instead of doing, let's say, this meal, you are required to have 50 grams of proteins, and then you need probably like 250 grams of chicken breast, maybe, just by example, and you can't do that. Maybe we'll switch to beef, we'll switch to fish, but of course the way of that particular food and how it's being prepared got to change. So I got to evaluate at every meal, and then we will record it every day, we will lock it in, and then every month we will do a review, and then we will do a full body assessment again, full body check. Okay, up to date, how much fats did you lose, how much protein, how much muscles, how much so-called water level are you retaining, what is your body weight and everything. Because the last thing that I'm always looking at is actually body weight. I'm more concerned into the details, which is the fats, the muscles, the water retention, the bone density, and last but not least, the metabolism. These are much important, because these are the things that is going to actually make you perform and get you in shape. The body weight would stay the same, to be honest. Because for me itself, if I am I'm not that tall, by the way. I'm about 171.5, and as a big guy, I'm actually weighing in at about 98 kilos right now. So that is plus minus 200 pound ish. So if we talk about me not being healthy, I would be very fat and slobby right now. Okay, that is one thing for sure. But the thing is that is because of the high percentage of muscles, bone density is strong, metabolism is highly active, low in body fats. That is how actually I get into this performance and shape actually. And people are quite surprised because I mean I even Siraj used to be in we used to be in the same football team. For a 98 kilo guy, when I run, trust me, the skinny boys would actually struggle to catch me. They would actually feedback that do not even run because I'm that fast. You see, so the thing is that it doesn't matter what I'm just trying to get across. It doesn't matter how much your body actually weighs. You should matter more of the details rather than just one particular general numbers. Okay, and then relate back to the question that you asked. I would actually make sure that their food are being kept on track, and then I want to make sure that they have a copy for it also over at their app. When, the date, the time, and how much did we change, what is the amount of grams and everything. Everything is being kept like a diary. Okay, that is just based on food. And based on training program itself, it's the same. Um, it's a little bit of slavery, to be honest, because I am that mean trainer in the gym that I would say, okay, I will give you a training diary, and you are to make sure that every time when you train with me, we would take a break at every rest time. You're going to write down not just the amount of weights or how much do you actually carry the weight or how many minutes do you run, but actually we will do a remark column at the end. Okay, at this particular training name and timing, how do you feel about the weight? At which particular time or which particular rep that do you feel that, oh, which part of the body feels that they cannot sustain this weight, and then how much did we change and everything. So these are the things that we record down to the point of details, like really to the point of details. And then at the end, when the person reach his particular fitness goals and achieve it, he have these two particular things in his arsenal, which next time, no matter where he stops or where he wants to come back, he might not even need a trainer because why? He already have his previous records. So he will just look back at day one. Okay, and then me as a trainer, I would label down, okay, this is the part that you are doing conditioning, and then this is the part that you're doing actually muscle toning, and at this period of time from here to here, you're doing fat burning period and how much you're losing, and then all the statistics of every 4 weeks check or even 2 weeks checks of your body weight and everything would be recorded. So at least from there, they have a customized diary that Google, YouTube, or even any point of actually website can't sell you, because this is something that it's customized by you actually. So actually, these are the things that I do for clients, and these are the things that actually that encourage them more to actually restart whenever they have a downfall, because they have something in their hand that they know that, oh, this is legitly gonna work, you see. Because if you keep on wondering, let's say for yourself, like Zaha, you've rested for 7 years and then you want to start again. That particular trainer might not be around anymore, or you might want to start off with someone new, and then someone new means something new again, and then the old one you can't remember. Like even if I ask you now, Zaha, okay, Zaha, in your high intensity interval training 7 years ago, what do you remember? You can explain to me in the general, like, oh, I did running, maybe I did this, but can you really remember the details? When, what time, how do you felt during that period? You see,
I remember I puke.
yeah, that's the general thing. You see, yeah. So that is good. The puking part is good. So even puking and everything, we note it down in the book. So at least we know that, oh, during this time to this time, you managed to actually improve on this, and then which are the other things that you're not improving on, which is your downfall. So these are the so-called chart, graphic, and so-called details that I would go with my clients to actually make sure that they record everything down. And it's not done by me because I don't do spoon feeding in during with my clients. I know it can be quite strict of me, but I want to make sure that they write down, because the thing is that the more you write down by yourself, the more you remember. Compare things that you write and compare things that you see on your phone digitally. You will remember more of the things that you write. When do you write or what do you write? Because that things just so-called develop into your brain, you see, compared to what you're seeing from the eye. So when you have that, and then when you stop again, and then now let's say today, if you want to start and you have trained with me before, Zaha, and you want to retrain again, you might not even need me. Yeah, you might call me, Zack, I just need advice. I want to start again. What do you advise based on training frequency, or where should I train? But other than that, actually, if your program, your plans, your fitness goals are still similar, then you can actually refer back to what you have customized in your hand actually. So with that thing, and then when you're sure that, oh, this thing actually have worked, and I've seen the result and I have felt the result, there's no reason that you're not going to feel motivated to start again actually. Yeah, so that's the secret to your answer lah actually.
Thank you for answering my question.
No problem, no problem. Anyone actually, anyone.
Yeah. Anyone here would like to ask Zack a question in regards to fitness? Maybe we have Kak Ani.
Or even can ask about my fitness business.
Yes.
Since I run a gym, and if you're interested to open up a gym, or you want to run a side income on fitness business or whatever, so it can be either both ways. So anyone actually.
Okay, Kak Ani nak tanya.
Go ahead, Kak Adi.
Yeah,
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. I'm 59 years old, okay?
Okay.
And I noticed that a lot of my friends around my age, 59, 60, 54 onwards. So we are, especially during COVID now, we're doing exercises lah, mainly. But we prefer exercises that are fun to do with,
Of course.
Macam mungkin gym, when you talk about gym, last year I signed up for a gym. I think this the Qantas Express, a woman's all women's
the
gym.
women's gym. Yeah.
I paid for $600 for 1 year, but I attended only one time.
Okay. One time.
Only once.
Okay. I need more people like you in my business. Very generous. Very generous.
Yeah, they actually started me by doing the Tabata,
Yes.
So I think it's part of the HIIT training, right?
Correct. It's very similar, just a different momentum actually. Yeah.
So, like I said, maybe we women kita nak kena pamper, and also at my age, so we prefer sports that conducive and also we enjoy doing. So I think at the moment now, gym mungkin is out of my reach lah. So what I do now is we do Zumba, because music we dance.
Okay. Yes.
And recently we went hiking, trekking.
Okay.
So jalan-jalan. So what I'm trying to say is that macam gym ni why we are susah nak pergi gym. I know it will affect business like you. So I hope that you can find. I mean, when you do business, every business has like a target audience, right?
Correct.
And and I'm sure, as for me, when I want to do business, I want to solve people's problem. That is at the back of my mind too.
Exactly.
That's why we are in business. We want to solve people's problem, but of course at a profit.
Yes.
So I hope that maybe you can design a certain what do you call it, a way of how to attract this kind of age group to diversify sikit lah, instead of the normal. Because like this Zumba thing is like you can come, you don't need to come.
Yeah, correct.
So I think exercise is a discipline. I noticed that. Bila last time I used to, when COVID period, I used to walk every day. Tapi bila you lapse, when you lapse, you feel alamak, to try again, it's very hard to come back in any sports also.
Correct.
So because I love sports and I do it prophetically, so like the way I eat kan. So sometimes when so this is the struggle that we are having actually,
Correct.
I'm an avid sports so-called. I lobby people, I have badminton regularly every Wednesday. Make sure that I call them to have to go down for badminton.
Yes.
We are one of the first people to step up when the CB period keluar je. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
So, yeah. So because why? If you ask me why I love to exercise, because I love to eat. So I don't feel guilty.
Okay.
That's why
That's a good trait lah. That's a good trait.
I'm also
actually.
in the food business, but of course, having said that, awareness of the food you eat, because I'm in the food business, so I have to also walk the talk.
Correct.
You're telling people to eat healthier choice. So far, it is a journey, and I cannot tell people or my children. I got 2 obese daughters actually. So to force them to eat healthy food. So now I slow down a bit. I tell them eat healthier food.
Yes.
Instead of healthy food, because you have to be honest with yourself. You know, we have to be practical. You have to be practical means like, for me, healthy food are easy to prepare actually, but they tak sedap. Tell the children, yang sedap tu, yang sedap tu tak healthy, yang healthy tu tak sedap. You know, but actually yang tak yang healthy tu easy sebenarnya. So the sedap, because we are born with appetite. So this is a struggle that we have to encounter every day, you know. And yang sedap tu susah nak prepare tau, especially Malay food. Example sambal goreng kan, leceh betul. And yang tak sedap
but I
tu,
love
but
sambal
healthy
goreng.
is easier to prepare. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
So, but of course, whatever you do pun dalam religion pun, you have to be moderate. You know, cannot be too extreme.
Exactly. Correct.
Like I said, the word practical tadi. Every day we have to eat. So we have to be practical. And I eat healthier food, not healthy food yet. Hopefully, I'll go to that. Yeah, because kita tak boleh membohongi diri kita. We cannot lie to ourselves.
Definitely.
Every day, you know, there are people who I encounter, don't eat rice for 1 month. Please lah, you know, stop lying to yourself. You know, you can eat, but do it moderately.
Exactly.
So this is a struggle that I'm facing lah. Yeah, being in the food business and also being into being healthy in order to run my business. These two are actually in tango. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Share.
Sure. Okay, thank you, Kak Ani. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, actually the question are pretty much is actually good and is very, to be honest, it's quite a common thing that I face I've been in this industry for about 12 years now lah, ever since I was an intern, and I would say it's even longer because I was already a professional footballer since in the age group of 12, so we are already educated at 12. We are training like 5 to 6 times a day.
Yeah, I took walking football also, you know, for health. I'm also a member.
Oh, is it? That's great. That's great.
Under
That's very good.
Mahmood. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, Zack, you run a gym, is it? Do you run a gym?
Yes, I do. I do. Yeah.
Mm.
So I'll explain more to what we have also and everything. Since you're in Singapore, actually you'll be surprised with what we have, because this is one thing that I'm just gonna go point by point first. Okay, we're talking about gym itself, when especially for women like yourself or busy women like yourself, and at a certain aging, and when based on your community also, you don't have that kind of macam school time whereby your friends macam, okay, jom kita pergi gym ramai-ramai, you know, that will give you more semangat. But nowadays it's more towards you making the effort. Like you have to even call your friends, jom lah pergi gym, you know, let's go and walk, let's go and hiking, everything. You have to persuade people. So for that, I wouldn't say that you did a wrong choice. I just felt that you went into the wrong gym at the wrong time, looking for the wrong goal. So, but I wouldn't blame you, because it's happening, especially in Singapore. Our tiny red dot, we have like about at least 350 gyms. I'm in a WhatsApp group, or I'm working with a networking of at least about 290 of gym owners. So I particularly know the owners, and I know that what are these different gyms are offering actually. So one thing to take note about is actually to actually get more information of what you want to do and how you like to do things, because yes, at this new age, you don't have to live that kind of orang-orang lama punya fitness, whereby you go to, I know the old gym, when you go to, it's all about heavy metals, big weights, plates, dumbbells, and all this. Nowadays, when you go to a gym, especially to mine and everything, it's really a modern, different kind of thing. They have a lot of fun things that you can do that actually is like, it's like playing a game, but actually you're working out. There's a lot of programs that you can even have fun with ropes, with resistant bands, with big wall balls, slam balls, tires, even benda-benda yang you fikir that actually ni macam seronok, angkat campak, lompat, lari pergi sana, is fun. You have a certain kind of so-called curriculum in here, but actually you're actually burning fats and actually developing muscles. You got to find a proper place for that. And even actually
because in any business, you have to suit to the client's needs, you know, and to tailor it, and it's different, you know. Because of demographic, lifestyle.
Contour, there's the struggle because their idea was actually just opening up a gym for one particular.
Yeah, because I think there's just a franchise. So I think, sorry to say, bluntly speaking, they're just out there to make money, you know.
Yeah,
they don't bother
they
to
already
ask
closed down. They closed down already actually. Contour closed down already.
It's a franchise,
so Contour,
right?
Yeah, Contour is not around anymore. It was actually, it started with a good purpose lah. Their idea was actually to start a gym for women, and they are trying to cater more towards Muslimah actually, to be honest. But then the support that we have based on women's and so-called Muslimah is quite small, because most of the sad to say that most of the business comes from the other races actually over ours lah. Okay, so the thing is that they fail at that area, and then they don't want to expand the whole so-called idea. But for my side doesn't mean we don't cater to that. We do actually. Being a so-called a private SME gym myself, we have a lot of collaboration, and we have different program, not just based on what I think that I want to do based on my experience, but at the same time I collab with a few big names actually. For example, recently we have a collaboration with Haslinda Ali, wife to Sujimi Yusof. So actually FitFab are in here. FitFab are in here actually. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, FitFab will have a class in here actually for the Muslimah and for the ladies.
That's
And
a
then
boot
actually,
camp.
it is. And then at the same time, when I discuss with Haslinda, we cannot just do boot camp. We have different programs. So at the same time, on top of that, Haslinda punya FitFab in my gym actually, we also have our own in-house group classes. We do have yogas for different kind, for males, for females. And then we have classes like, for me myself, I do, besides sports and so-called fitness, I do martial art also. I do teach boxing and kickboxing, but on a different level for female punya kind, and then also at the same time for the serious athlete kind. So we have a lot of different kind of classes here also, besides the whole just the gym name. So actually this space, you should, one of these days when I have we maybe we can keep in touch, and let me put you in one of the Haslinda punya fun classes, because the trainers here actually, they are my trainers actually.
I attended by Ayu. I think one of the trainer Ayu.
Oh, okay. Ayu is in Jurong, is it? Jurong.
I'm
Is it
staying
Jurong
in
side?
the west area. Yeah.
West
Bukit
area, yeah.
Batok,
So
Satuka.
Ayu is around the area. Yeah, I heard about that. So yeah, that's one thing that you have a plan, and at the same time, when you have engaged to a certain program, you need to find one. That's why I said you need to find a very motivating trainer. That is very important.
Oh
A
yes, because of
trainer.
Ayu, I took up the basic sports science, Republic
Oh,
Poly,
okay,
until that
okay,
extent.
okay.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. When do you took the whole course actually?
2016.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. It was 2 years, 1 year,
Well, I think 1 year. 1 year.
1 year, right?
Yeah.
Not bad,
Yeah.
not bad. So that means you expand your knowledge in actually
Yeah, about
the
sports
whole sport.
conditioning, the
That's very nice.
nutrition.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
beneficial,
Very
especially for
interesting.
your
Yeah.
food business. That is very
Yeah.
beneficial actually.
Now, for me
Okay,
also, for personally me, in order
definitely,
to run my
definitely.
business, I have
Yeah,
to be fit.
correct.
Like Zah
Definitely,
say, right?
definitely. And not a lot of mak would do this, so I got to salute you for that. Very, very well
Yeah.
done. So now what you need to do is actually you just need to find your ground actually. That is very important, because like I said, you already have the enthusiasm in it, which is very good already. You're actually above most of them who are still
And
sitting on
fitness is the
sofa.
first
And
and foremost thing to run a business. I mean, health
definitely,
is I mentioned there, a priceless wealth.
correct,
Uh,
correct, correct. So the thing is that, yeah, so when we talk about outside of that, now we're moving forward to the so-called diet part, because you mentioned about your daughters, and then you mentioned about the
yeah.
struggle of thing. Okay, so that is where we actually I always emphasize, the secret to it is actually, this may not work to all, but actually to engage a good so-called personal trainer, or a personal trainer that comes with a nutritionist profile. That is very important, because why? Actually, a good nutritionist actually is not just able to actually give you dietary plan, but actually they are able to teach you more into details. So when we talk about details itself, is you see, when you say just now, the dirty food are actually are harder to prep, like sambal goreng and all these, all these are lagi susah nak buat compared to the healthy food. But the healthy food are not nice. That's why you put it into not nice. Let me share with you. When I was in my nationals punya preparation for bodybuilding in 2016, which I won first that year. When I go to the gym, people are very surprised. Other competitors or other people who are taking part in a certain competition are actually eating boiled chicken, half grilled beef and everything. Where me, myself, when I come to the gym, I open up my Tupperware. I have like sweet and sour chicken. I have salted egg, beef and everything, you see. So why I can still achieve that so-called perfection of physique, and I can still have those kind of food in the gym, is because I understand more than just general food. I go into the micronutrition. That means instead of just protein, carbohydrate and fats, I even go into much more deeper details. Sodium, I will go into sugar, I will go into saturated fats, non-saturated fats. So when you understand all these details and you give yourself a certain target in the day that you know that, oh, this is not going to go over the limit, this is not go over the limit, you can actually still prep all this food in your healthy diet and it will still taste as good as your normal diet. But the only toughest part is that you got to experiment it. That means I weekly, based on weekly, I know I'm gonna get so-called boring if I'm gonna get bored if I just eat the same thing over and over again. Let's say I'm preparing for a competition, I'm let's say 8 months away. I have to keep on changing my diet. So what I will do is that I will take at least either the Saturday or the Sunday to actually experiment one of the recipe and try to see, okay, this amount of chili, this amount of so-called garlic, ginger and everything, how long can this last in the fridge? And then at the same time, how well can it taste or how close can it taste to the original dirty food? And then when I experimented, actually, I'm quite surprised that actually it tastes better even with than the dirty one. Because the thing is that it doesn't just taste better. After you eat it, you don't feel heavy because you know that whatever you put in there are all organics and all so-called good foods. So when you do that, you get less stress and you're more confident in eating actually. So the thing is that those are the things that you will need to do. But the thing is that to start that off with yourself, like I said, it's gonna be a long journey because you don't know where to start and you don't know what to put or what to do. So I always emphasize again, you would need to go back to seeking a proper trainer with a nutritionist background, and at the same time make sure that he's living the lifestyle and actually he have a history of living the lifestyle himself. So that is what actually most of us need. Because if not, then we're gonna keep on struggling and struggling, and then the moment we struggle, we don't want to do it anymore. This is human nature. As thing gets harder and you cannot get the solution and you find that this is taking too much effort and time, let's just put it aside, let's just go for the easy way out, you see. So that is something that is very critical. But then again, it all falls down to your determination, and it all falls down to your proper research lah. The idea is to research lah. Research not just based on the statistic of Google and everything, because with the modern so-called effort of the whole so-called communication and everything on Google, we never know who is putting up whatever reports up there. It can be just a school kid actually just typing out something and then putting the wrong influence across, and here we are adults thinking that, oh, this must be some professor or doctor that put it. Actually, it might be just a school kid that just want to upload something or just want to, fill up something on a certain website. So the best way is still to get down, find the right trainer, understand where does this trainer come from, which gym he is at, and what does the gym and the trainer offers. Book a session, attend a trial, try to request for a trial, because it is not supposed to be a forced thing. If it's a forced thing, you're never going to enjoy it. It's like me, it's like you, and being forced into going to somewhere that you don't even want to go to. So the idea is actually to have a trial, get in touch with your trainers and professional. Once everything works out, then from there you all can actually link up and work on a certain programs and business lah. Okay, so other than that, actually it's all there already lah. But other than that, we can always take it offline lah. If you all need any help on this, and if you're around the zone, or if you're around, because I do have friends over in certain different country like Thailand and everything who are doing this also. So if you all need it, then just give me an offline connection to it lah. Other than that, I'm just gonna share it up here itself. Is that okay?
Hi, Zack. Hey, we have a question here from Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Okay.
Are you still? Kevin is asking,
Mhm.
is the fitness business open during the pandemic?
Okay. During the pandemic, actually, when it started, we are still open. We are still open until in April that we got a last minute. To be honest, it was a last minute notice for us. Like as good as today they announced, in 1.5 day time we got to close, and we are left with no choice. You see, so we were closed at that point of period. But the thing is that that is by right lah. I would say that by right, yes, we are not supposed to operate in any way. But then by left, it's still very gray. So there's no particular law to that. So we do still cater out trainers going over to clients' places and everything, or doing online personal training via Zoom and or by a few other so-called platforms like Skypes and everything. So I would say that we don't operate based on in our ground wise, but we do still operate on the online side lah, actually. Yeah, we do, and we don't, and we do. That's the answer.
Okay, that's good. I hope it Zach actually answer your question, Kevin. Yeah, thank you. Kevin is actually from Indonesia. He is also he's a financial consultant in
Okay,
Indonesia.
okay,
I know him through another network.
okay, okay.
Thank you for joining,
Is he
Kevin.
in Bandung also?
No, he's in Jakarta.
Okay.
Yeah.
The busy city, huh?
Yes, the busy city. So
That,
yes,
that's the only place that I go that I don't want to take Grab, you see. I rather take a bike or something like that lah.
oh, the Gojek and the Grab.
Yeah, correct, correct. That's the
As
only
long
country.
as
Yeah.
you are comfortable with it, and it's fine, you see. So yeah, I have a $1 million question. Okay,
Okay, go
in
ahead.
regards to business.
Okay, okay.
We all know most bosses are the busiest people of all. Even
Correct, correct.
even my partner in Singapore, he's busy.
Exactly.
I have to tell you the truth that getting him online for half an hour is not easy. So because of
Okay.
that, my question would be like, how would you advise busy people like these bosses, right?
Mhm.
CEOs, MD,
Okay.
in terms of fitness?
Fitness.
Do
Okay.
you actually ask them to do training in the morning, or do you actually ask them, or probably doing during lunch, or probably after work? Because some people
Correct.
say it's not good to do training at night, is because it will
Sure.
affect your body or something.
Mhm.
So to make sure that I better ask
Of course,
expert
of
like
course.
you.
Thank
So
you,
that's
thank you. Okay. That is also one of the common things, to be honest. But it's a very $1 million question, because it's a very so-called very critical answer that is required here. Because if not, one wrong answer, people are gonna shoot me here and there lah. So I better be very cautious about my answer. But the thing is that I'm just gonna give you my honest explanation and opinion on this, and then so just listen closely and then try to actually vision out this thing. Okay. So the thing is that, yes, on the common so-called remarks, people say that, look, training at night is not good. You cannot train after a certain hours. It's as similar as you cannot eat rice or carbohydrate at night or after 7 or this and that. But it's actually a myth, to be honest, because the thing is that that applies to people who have never done fitness and people who are not healthy. Yes, you don't start off by today, like say today you feel motivated after, like say, 15 years of not training. Suddenly today, okay, after I finish work at 1 a.m., I'm going to go train. Yes, you're going to kill yourself, and tomorrow you're never going to make it in the morning. That is bad. But the thing is that if you make the effort to actually build up yourself, after you pass your conditioning period of raises, and then you step into the program, your real program, or your so-called training targets and goals, then timing is actually never a matter. Because to be honest, actually, all you need to do is actually just spend 30 minutes right doing a certain point of exercise and activity. But by saying that again doesn't mean 30 minutes. If let's say people say, okay lah, just do skipping at home like 30 minutes, I just at home and I think that I'm going to get the result. That is a killer, to be honest. So again, that falls down to seeking a professional, get a proper program. Okay, don't find professional via website and YouTube lah. Those are professional, but they are on the other side of professional, not on the fitness side. So that is just a remark based on the night training. But for people who are very busy, even like myself, we should actually evaluate this on one common subject, which is how much, which is a similar thing, that why do we do business? Why don't we just work for other people? We always have that thought. Why don't we just work for other people? Why do you want to do the business? Because when we do a business means we want to enjoy being in control of what we have, and we want to get more than what being an employer is. Okay. So if you have that mindset, which is actually a good thing, so I don't see what is holding you back, to be honest, because if you have that mindset on business, apply that to fitness so that you will have the same thing. But in fact, in fitness, it doesn't have to go a long so-called miles or long journey in that. All you need is actually 3% of your day, like probably it's like 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes to actually do a proper exercise. And if you're so busy, and if you but you got the spending budget, why not invest in equipments, and like I said, invest in equipments, invest in a trainer. And if you can't come over to a trainer gym, then get a trainer to come over to you, get a professional to come over to you to coach you. And then once you're done there, you get in your shower, and then boom, you're back to your work in your another office of your house, or actually wherever you are training at. Because nowadays training can be anywhere. So that's the thing. Just that, of course, during this period we have to be cautious about the social distancing lah. Other than that, they didn't stop you like, oh, you cannot train here, you cannot do training here. There's no restriction to that. So actually that is another way. Or the last but not least, actually time management. That is very important. For me, I like to do training in the afternoon, because that's where my energy is at best. But this again also, you got to know when is your energy at best. Some people, they are terrible in the morning, they are never a morning person, but after evening at 8 at night, suddenly they turn into like a energizer bunny, like everything is like on the hype. So for those kind of people, training at night is definitely their best strength, because that is where you want them to be at their best focus and their best energy. But if you think you're a very morning person, then try to get even slight. But if you're a morning person, but you got work in the morning, then try to push it even earlier, because you need to be, before you even start that, you need to be motivated. That's one thing. Have a look at the top superstars right now. For example, like The Rock, the common one, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Mark Wahlberg, all these kind of people. Uh, they train as early as 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning, to be honest. And if we want to talk about our day is busy, their day is even crazier. They have like a whole day of shoot. They have like this and that. They have to attend to a certain stamina and everything. They even end their days at midnight, at 1 a.m. or even 2. But things that they make that effort, because if they don't make the effort, they might not even get those business, because they might not even be strong, or might not even be good for that kind of so-called particular so-called program that they are into. But then again, we are not actors, and we are not so-called superstars, so that means we don't have to go to that certain extent, but we have to actually make that effort to start off with. And then when you start off with, like I said, you have to have like a breakdown. Okay, this week, what do I want to do, and what do I want to achieve? The idea is actually to get your pen and papers, or even pencil and papers lah, so it's easier to erase off. Brainstorm yourself, circle out all the things, like what Kak Ani just now, she said, which is something that I like very much. You got to be honest with yourself. Don't just have impulsive dream because suddenly today I look at the website and I see that, oh, Jennifer Lopez is looking good at this age, I want to be like Jennifer Lopez. Don't. Okay, in fact, get that's not going to make sense. That is very impulsive. You just have something for a minute, look at yourself, wake up, face yourself in the mirror, brainstorm yourself, spend at least just an hour, be honest with everything that you like about yourself, be honest with everything you don't like about whatever your performance based on sports, fitness, and also what you don't like based on your physique. Be honest about it, have a breakdown, strategize, get a proper planning on it. And then if you can't solve it, get a professional, and then work closely with that professional. And then there you have a solution to it. Because like I said, nowadays we are no longer stuck in the Arnold era, whereby everything is so far apart. And in Singapore, we only have certain big gyms, or in any other country, we have only certain limited gym. Because nowadays, even the worst country have gyms. That is surprisingly good at this point of stage compared to last time, or our grandmom's so-called era, you see. So, and the best thing is that some gym are even 24 hours nowadays, you see, and it's very nearby your neighborhood and everything. So there's no reason, to be honest, nowadays for you not to be able to actually achieve this. CEOs, businessmen, busy men, and you don't have to do it every day, guys. It's about setting a target. Okay, these days, I'm pretty sure out of that 7 days, you have I'm pretty sure, okay, you have 1 hour and 30 minutes in that particular 7 days to actually break it down into 3 days or even 2 days to start off with. So it all comes down to you guys. um you're gonna go hard, or you just gonna go home. That's actually what it refers to. But people use it in the gym like go hard means, oh, we got really heavy weight, but actually it refers to that kind of saying. It's either you go hard on your program and goals, or it's either you go home, because there's you cannot have one foot in and then one foot out. It's going to confuse yourself. When you confuse yourself, you activate cortisol tissue in your body. It causes a lot of stress. No matter what you do, your fat is not going to be burned, your body is not going to, it's not going to structure out and not going to develop muscles. So be sure, have a concrete plan, just like how you do it on your business, and execute everything that you have in plan. Don't hold back, don't look back already. Once you have a plan and once you confirm money, and when your trainers or when you yourself have created a path, move forward. Don't even think about where you were. Don't even look at yourself, oh my god, I looked like this yesterday, oh my god, last month I looked like this, last time I was like this. Forget last time, forget yesterday, forget what you have thought. Look forward, vision up yourself, and don't stop until you get there. Simple as that. Yeah.
Thank you, Zack.
No problem.
It's very good advice, because I believe a lot of people fail to do exercise, and training is always the reason being the busyness, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
yes, so it's
But
always like
family members plays a big part. Family members, wives,
mm,
spouses, everything, all this play a part. And if you can come to a point that you say, I don't come from a good family that do all this, then why not you be the different, since you're already one of the different people to have to be a businessman, to be an entrepreneur, to be all this hustler thing among the other family members. Why not you be the first one to actually do this? And have you actually figured out that if you manage to be the best of yourself, and so-called manage to develop some good looks, good programs, good knowledge of it, can you imagine that how much you can change among your family members, and how much that will actually be very healthy, not just for yourself, but for everybody. The healthier everyone is, the happier everyone is going to be. That's something that we all should actually look forward to over just, money and just time spent on business. Actually, it's very relatable, to be honest. Yeah.
it's always about the motivation.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I believe you are a very good motivator. So
My days, to be honest, I have my days, and
because you
even
managed to bring your friend who was the
okay.
first to sign up, Mac, in this session.
Okay.
So
Well, Mac is training also. So Mac, like it or not, Mac will want to be here and see what else she can so called get out of me lah. So that's the whole idea. But the thing is that it's about that. That's how it should be actually. We all should actually just encourage each other, and we should motivate each other. We should create that love of fitness among each other, because if we don't, then no one else can use it. And yeah, with the whole so-called social medias and so-called the online and digital platform that can create 1,000 of videos, but at the end of the day, it's all comes down to personal touches. Our close friends, our best buddies, our BFF, our wife, you see, these are the things that can actually motivate and drive us over the rest of the videos or articles or even magazines. See, you can just look at it and the next minute you're gonna forget it. But if your wife or if your family members, your close ones just start to get in touch with you and look, let's meet up, let's talk about this, let's try this together, and you'll develop that personal so-called rapport and chemistry, it's gonna go a long way. That's actually the motivation that you need to try. But if you got no one, then you got to be the one then. So yeah. Sometimes it's all started off with forcing yourself. Really hard forcing. That's why sometimes when I think again and I look myself in the mirror, I think that sometimes I call myself crazy. I say, you are really crazy. You can do things that human don't want to do, because there will be days that you feel lazy. Like, I just don't want to do this today. Okay, maybe I earn enough of looks and strength or muscle. I want to rest today. But then again, sometimes the other half of me will say, no, get up and do it. Get up and do it. So like it or not, sometimes I just get up and do it, get up and do it. But the thing is that once you achieve, and when you see that when you're performing better than other people, or even people who are athletes, and then you see that your looks are getting even so much sharper and much more so-called pleasing in the eyes. You start to take photos, and that is actually a bad thing, but actually that's a good way to actually motivate yourself. That thing will keep you in an obsession that I don't want to lose this muscle, oh, today I got abs, I don't want to lose this abs. So there are a lot of ways to go about, but like I said again, it doesn't mean it works for me, it will work for you. So you got to find somewhere that it's actually can get you into a certain addiction to actually love yourself and would want to work yourself non-stoply. Um, Other than that, then it all goes down back to you again. See? So it's never like I said, it's never a one thing for everyone lah. So you got to find a way how you want to motivate yourself and where you want. Most of the professional, what they can do is they can strategize for you, set a plan for you, motivate and push you to a certain level. But when you reach to a certain point, it still all comes back to you. Yeah. So end of the day, you got to be the person.
Okay, great. So is about motivation, right? So
Yes, it is.
my next question, since no one really want to ask question, so I'm
Okay,
just
go
going to
ahead, go
keep
ahead.
asking. My question is, what was your vision when you actually started bodybuilding and the business as a whole? Is it still the same today, or it was different from the start?
Okay. When I was in the so-called football line, to be honest, that was my dream back then. I wanted to be like Fandi Ahmad. I wanted to be like all the big names. That was my dream, to be honest. That's why I chased the dream. Even though, a lot of things happens along the way. I was selected for a sports school, but my family didn't want to because they think that, oh, you should be in a proper school instead of a sports school and everything. So it was quite challenging for me. But again, like I said, I can be quite stubborn in the head. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Okay, the good thing is that when I have a goal and I'm stubborn, it just locks me in there no matter what happens. But the thing is that the bad thing is that sometimes it can be too tense lah, that you get stressed over yourself. So I thought that was my dream until I've met a bike accident in when I was 18, like I told you, when I just first passed my license, and then it got me on wheelchair for at least about 8 months actually. Broken a joint and then couldn't function with the legs and everything. So to be honest, I was quite depressed back then. I was like, this is my dream. This is everything that I have actually lived for back then. And that's part of the reason only why I want to go to school last time, because there's football. I was a football star in school also, so we always get the early dismissal from class because today our school got a match against another school. So I love it so much, so that's why I just want to go to school. And then the recognition you get every time we enter a school competition. Oh, our school wins this, and then you go up on stage. That's the only thing you go up for lah. Not academically, but based on that. So after it happened, everything just went down the drain. You What, Siraj just got to rub it in, huh? Okay. Thank you, brother. Thank you. You are our football star also. So when I stopped there, I thought that okay, this is the end. I might either end up as just a normal worker after this, or I don't even know where I want to go. So until I met one of my physio actually. She's from South Africa, so actually same as Mac. Um, so I realized that I was quite stubborn because it was an insurance claim, to be honest, and I didn't even want to go to the physio because I don't believe in that. I thought like, look, this is not going to make sense. I'm on a wheelchair. That's it. I'm not going to perform anymore. I'm very depressed. No football, no gym, nothing. You see. So when I did that, and at the same time, I enrolled myself in the sports science for my diploma at the start. The target was actually the doctor recovery target and everything. They gave me 2 years actually to actually be in my normal state, and then after that we can start again from the start. But to be honest, after the physio and after my studies of first semester, actually I got back to my as close as my previous best as early as 8 months actually. 8 months, I was already walking on crutches like on the second month. I was pushing myself on the physios and rehab regularly and everything. So from there I start to see that actually science does work. It does make sense, and there are secrets to it that I want to learn more. So that pushed me more to studies in the sports science. And then after that, I took up a part-time degree. But at the same time, but of course, during that period, I was using a few of my friends actually to just like, look, guys, I mean, you all want training? Let me train you for free and everything. Back then, I gave out free training and everything just to actually use them as my scapegoat lah. I'm sorry if any one of my friends ever see this way back in the years, but yeah, they were my scapegoats or my lab rat to actually test. Oh, this thing works on what kind of people, or does this thing really work? So from there, actually, I realized that I enjoy teaching people. you know I enjoy teaching people rather than working in companies, sitting behind a desk and just facing the laptops or computers or whatever. So I find that this job, when I do it, I don't find it as a job. It's like something that I do, like soccer. I enjoy it so much. So I start to deepen my studies and took up a lot of site certifications to expand my so-called knowledge and everything. And then it just went on and on until 2014, when I was about to get married back then. So I was like, okay, I've got to do something that give me, because I was really at my best performance, but at the same time, I my body keep on changing. Like, it grows big, it grows into so-called details, and then it grow bulky again, and then I put on size, and then, but it's all muscle, of course, but it keep changing. So I was like, this is not good, because I don't have a plan. Like, where do I want to be, and what do I want to do? So I forced myself to sign up for a competition. Actually, it was a local competition in Singapore. So I was like, this is crazy, but I'm just gonna sign up. It was only like 3 months away from that competition. So I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna stress myself out. I'm gonna just take part in this competition, and then I'm just gonna see whether is my body ready for it. And I was quite surprised that actually I won champion for that particular competition. And I was in if y'all are a bit confused, the common thing about bodybuilding competition, it is a bodybuilding competition, but the categories nowadays are very large. They have fitness models. They have, let me just explain one by one. Bikini, even for women, last time we only have one thing. Even our legend in Singapore, Agnes Lee, she's known for the old. She's 65 now, and she's still looking sharp and everything. So last time there are only two things in a bodybuilding competition: men in underwears, women in bikinis. Okay, so those are the legends. But nowadays there are so much more categories to that. For example, like bikini, they don't just do bikini anymore. They have a bikini model whereby they don't just go up on stage to look like the most muscular woman, but in fact, they have to have a balanced, lean muscle to look nice, not over muscular. And at the same time, they have different clothing. They will come out second round in their best casual wear, and the third round, they will come out in their best sportswear and display their so-called performance on stage. It's very different nowadays, and it's a very big thing. And then for men itself, they have a lot of things. They still have the bodybuilding, the old bodybuilding in the underwear thingy, whereby the idea is to get very muscular as you can. Super muscular. Siraj is smiling. I know where he's smiling at, because we had a discussion about men in underwear on stage previously. So yeah, we have that in the competition. And at the same time, we have the second one, which is, they call it the classic physique. Classic bodybuilding, sorry. Classic bodybuilding, men would wear thongs in black color thongs. It's not like underwear, but it's like those kind of brief in black. And the idea for that is not to get over muscular. You need to look very muscular, but you cannot look over muscular. Whereby in bodybuilding, those men in underwear, the idea to win is to look as sick as possible. That means you're supposed to look out of human look, you see. You're supposed to get very veiny, muscular. You're supposed to be very big. That's the whole goal to win. Whereby classic, you're supposed to look like those trophy, like those kind of lean trophy, muscular. Still beyond human, but you have to look very aesthetically. And then after that, the third category is where I fall into, which is the men physics. Men physics, we don't wear those either things. Like, I don't want to wear those things also. So we are in between of manhunt and bodybuilding. So that means we go on stage, we are still muscular, but the rule is that we can never be too muscular. That means if you're too muscular, you're gonna lose. So the biggest man, if you come in as the biggest man in that category, you're gonna lose. And you're gonna be wearing board shorts, by the way. Those kind of people go to the beach and kind. So, and at the same time, you have to do a different pose. The poses are not really like those, aggressive bodybuilding poses. It's more towards modeling poses, but in a muscle body with a beach short or a board short. So that's where I fall into that category. And then last but not least, whereby there's one more, which is the fitness model. you cannot be very big. You have to be muscularly lean. You have to got a good piece of 6-pack or 8-packs. You got to have good smile and good face and good looks. Then you will win for that contest. So there's a lot of breakdown nowadays. So I signed up for the physique, by the way. I took that risk because during that period in Singapore, it was the first time I think 2012 America opened it, that category, and then 2014 it came to Singapore. So when I signed up for it, a lot of people would call me actually a CC. You see, they say, "Oh, this is the CC category. Don't do it because you're wearing bob short. You're not doing those kind of flexes. You're doing hands on the waist. You're smiling. You're doing side poses like a CC, you see." So I was like, it's okay, I'm just gonna do it, I'm gonna be a CC, let me be a CC. But that year I won that contest, and then at the same time during the end of the year I won the national contest also in Singapore, the nationals for Singapore. And until today, every bodybuilder in Singapore want to go down to the category because their category is much more easier to achieve, and then it's much more better looking. So nowadays physique is the bigger thing compared to bodybuilding. So if you see a competition nowadays, look at any country, even in Indonesia and everywhere, when you see the competitors for bodybuilding and physique athlete, you will see hundreds over competing for physique, and you will see like a certain number for bodybuilding because it's easier to achieve, and at the same time the future is much more bigger in there, like going into the big stage in Olympia in Las Vegas and everything. It's much more, because if you look at the bigger Mr. Olympia in America, it's too large. For example, he's like close to 300 pounds and he's already 1.8 1.9 tall, and he's already won it for 5 years straight. What makes you think you come from Indonesia, Singapore, Philippines or what, and you can just go there, okay, I'm gonna be larger than you and I'm gonna take over this world title? It's not gonna, it's crazy. The effort that you put in and everything is just beyond genetics. It's something that I would say that not anyone can achieve, because the life for them there is different. When they get sponsored, they live and they get paid to do that. So that's why they die hard to actually just train every day, diet every day, do 2 to 3 times of training, because that's what they are so-called programmed to do lah. Okay. So after that, when I signed up for the contest and then I won that contest, I start to love it. But then again, at the end of the year, after I won that national, I was selected to represent Singapore in Uzbekistan for Asia Championship. But then I got into a lower back injury, right 4 weeks away when I was supposed to fly to Uzbek. And then after that got me out of the game. And then I rested. And then 2000, I was still coaching though. Along the way, I was still coaching different kind of gyms, from government gyms to the commercial gyms to the corporate gym and everything. A lot of different roles as years goes by, from just a normal trainer to a senior trainer to a manager to a regional managers, and it just keep climbing up until where I ended myself today at where I am. So after that, I came back in the game again at 2016, and then I got into another injury again over my shoulder. I was out again. So if you see my life, I've been in an accident, torn my lower back, broke my leg, torn my shoulder ligaments. So you see, it doesn't stop me. So if it doesn't stop me, it can't be possible that it stops you, because the only thing that is stopping you right now is just time and yourself. Whereby the thing that stops me are actually things that would put me, myself, or yourself in the hospital for months and out of the game, or and then you want to start again, and then you get into injury, you want to do again, you have to develop yourself again, you have to rebuild. So it's crazy from where I come from. So that's why I figure out a certain formula and a certain kind of prevention and everything, based on not just what I study in, not just based on my experience, but based on what I have gone through myself and what my clients have gone through along the way. So when I started this gym, actually the idea is actually to be honest, it's crazy. But then again, I don't look to, I'm not looking to be a crazy rich man based on this business, because I'm still doing some other things. The idea of me starting this is actually to give back to the community, to help those who didn't manage to reach out. For example, like our Kak Ani, go to the wrong gym and then feel very lousy about it. She paid like 600 and she only attended once because there was nobody there to motivate her, to keep her in, so-called in school, I would say, something like that. So the idea of me starting this place is actually to give opportunity to the freelancers, to the people who want to showcase their skills and talent, and then to the people who feel intimidated of going at the gym because of the crowds and everything. So this gym of mine is actually a different kind. It's exclusively for the general over the superstar. I know when you go to different gym in every single country, every single time you enter a different gym, there would be a superstar over there. There will be some kind of regulars over there who will be looking at you up and down when you want to do something in their gym, as if the gym belongs to them. So over here, we don't have that kind of people, because over here, we want to develop that family kind of feel, whereby not only the trainers or the staff here would look out, hey, come to the gym, hey, you need to do this tomorrow. The members are actually looking out for each other because they have developed that kind of family culture over here. So that is something that I feel very happy about, because we managed to be different, you see. So even though it's not a super big community, like we don't so-called target the whole Singapore, but thank God we managed to target the people who really needs help, and then they improve, and then they help after that the next batch of people who needs help, and then they keep on encouraging, and then the next batch grow, the next batch comes in. So we are very happy here like that. So if you ask me how, why, and what until I got here, so this is where it is. And then at this point of state, then I am much more relieved. Then I can actually start to think about actually I had plans for opening up another branch and everything, but then I'm still considering whether it should be in Singapore or should it be expanded in another country. But then again, I need to evaluate, I can be very hungry about wealth and everything, but then again, I need to think whether if I expand it to this much, would it affect my fitness? Would it affect my family time, my work life and balance? Because that is very important. I know we can hustle hard, but the thing is that we don't just hustle hard. The key point for fitness and business nowadays is actually to hustle smart, because the world is so smart nowadays. So why still want to hustle hard when you can hustle smart? So that is always my belief on now compared to last time. If last time, yes, I say work hard, just work hard, go crazy over yourself, be that stubborn mentality, because it's not as easy as it's now. But now as the world grows tougher, I know the economies and everything, but then the system, the whole technologies and everything, also they are improving. So as they are improving, they are making things easy for us actually. So why do we still want to go old school when we can actually give ourselves a chance and try out the new school methods and find which one works best for you? Then you can actually have a work-life balance, and then you can have time for your fitness. It's doable, guys. It's really doable. So think about it. Unless you work 24 hours every day for 7 days, then I'm not the best guy to advise that. You are superb. I need to learn from you how you do that. Other than that, it's always doable, guys. Just find your something that you like, and then start from there. Start small. Don't have that crazy dream yet. Start small, build up along the way progressively. So yeah.
Thank you. Okay, that's very interesting. And there's one more thing I want to ask, but before I ask, may I check with everyone out there who would like to ask any question?
No, I think you're asking the right questions.
Okay.
Yeah, every time I wanted to ask, then you ask already.
Smart answer from Siraj, huh?
I
cover line.
Smart answer from Siraj, huh?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's I like this part whereby Zack was sharing. It's more of like our self-discipline and how
Yeah.
how to be frank, I came to learn like 5 steps to do sit-ups. I thought Zack will be in his tights and then on a yoga mat showing how to do proper sit-ups. That was my impression. But suddenly, Zack became like a reflection, master. It was like making me think, inspire. Because actually before you even start with physical, it's actually your mental health,
Exactly.
right? What do you really want actually? What do you really want? If you just want to make money, then the rest isn't important one.
Exactly.
If just that make money as fast as much as I can, then you don't need to think about the rest. But we want over here, and I believe everyone wants that, this totality, this holistic thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you want that, you cannot achieve it without putting in some self-discipline, putting in priorities for other aspects of your life. Like just like you mentioned family, you mentioned health. It needs to be what you call it, a conscious effort. A conscious effort. Then probably after that it becomes subconscious. Yeah, because I think this one also applies in terms of spirituality, and things like that. Even as simple as brushing your teeth, like, since you do it like from young. I mean, when you were young, probably you need to be forced to do it. You didn't want to do it. You just want to go and have your breakfast. But subsequently, it was forced, was drilled, and then now you can't. You don't want to do. You don't want to miss brushing your teeth if something is amiss. I believe physical exercises, keeping fit, diet also is about the same. Yeah, I mean that's what I feel. Okay, although there is this also like macam legendary notions, or say old wives' tale. So okay, I give you an example. I kind of like quit rice lah, or really
Okay.
minimal lah. Really macam it's like a rice. Maybe it's just like some grains since it's stuck to my sambal goreng or whatever it is, But so my mother looked at me eating. Obviously she's not used to this. She's like, you quit rice also not good. Must have something. Then I said, never mind lah, I can get it from bread or whatever. Then she's like, yeah, but don't overdo it lah. Then she touched on my other bad habits which I should be quitting. You know, I'm like, okay, that one we will talk about that on another day. But talking about, let's say, quitting rice or quitting a certain thing, what's your take on that?
Okay, actually that one actually is relatable to just now, like I said, because the thing is that when you don't have the idea of actually what are the details of these things, you will start to actually get stuck with this kind of remark, you see, and it's very easy to get lost with this kind of information. For example, because why, let's say right now, if I just relate back to, let's say, your business, Siraj, let's say you're doing this
Yeah,
business
yeah.
in launch and everything. Let's say me, a person who is not in your business, and then I'm coming into your industry, and then I'm telling you, Siraj, you cannot do this lah. But you see, you're not gonna fall for it, because why? You're very sure of what you do. You have done years of it. Your knowledge is strong, and then you are you're positive that you know that whatever I'm talking is just it's just a remark. So it goes back to the same when it comes to this common thing, which is carbohydrate. Yes, carbohydrate is a very so-called very tough thing to understand, because there's a lot of details to it, like brown rice, red rice, long grain, short grain, and everything. But then sometimes when people focus on these carbohydrates, they only refer back to one thing, which is rice, which is just a wheat grain. But then they actually forget that carbohydrate comes in a very big form, like bread, pastas, and everything. They stop rice, but they still eat bread. They stop eating bread, but they still drink milk. They stop drinking milk, but they still eat cheese. You see, when actually all these things are still carbohydrate, you see. So the matter is that you need to understand that in which carbohydrate, how long does it stays in your body, how fast does your body can burn this amount of things, and at the same time whether what are the side effects of this. To be honest, rice actually easily puts on weight into your body, because the thing is that if you cook the rice that you see, but the thing is that when it put on weight, usually rice will put on more water into your body. These are the things about certain things, because you see, you cannot cook rice without water. If not, the wheat wouldn't cook. So
Correct.
when you already cook the rice, and then when you put it inside the body, it's the same so-called effect. You see, it adds on water. It adds on water weight. So when you step into a normal weighing scale, you see the weight go up. Alamak, I put on weight. But actually, when you actually still gymming and everything, you that's why I say you need to get a scale that you can see the muscles, muscle percentage, water volume, um, fat percentage, and actually also your metabolism. Because like I said, don't focus on the big numbers, focus on these details. Just as much as how I say focus on these details, is the same thing how I would pass this remark back to you. So when you're talking about rice and everything, don't focus on people remark, focus on the details of the things that you're putting in your body. And like I said, the technology now is so easy. All you have to do is just type rice details in Google, and Google is going to give you a full spec of it. How much gram of rice is going to give you, how much protein, how much fats, and everything. And then when you know this amount, and then at the same time, when you download that app, just now when I say the MyFitnessPal, you calculate, and then when the MyFitnessPal give you a day target of what you're supposed to do, and then you enter this amount, or you're cooking maybe 75 gram of 2 times a meal, and then you put it in there, and then when you see the overall day result, eh, I didn't breach, or I didn't go over the limit, so that means I did well for today. And then if let's say you're about to go over, you key in every single detail, and then you see that, oh, so that means before the end of the day, the last meal, okay, I should cut down maybe by 20 grams, or I should cut down by 25 grams. Then when you have this proper knowledge equipped to yourself, and when you have the concrete proof in your hand, nobody actually can tell you eat some rice or don't eat rice or whatever it is. So, and then again, these things, like I said, you need a professional to help you to start off with a proper nutritionist or a proper trainer. So end of the day, if you can do it by yourself, the things are already at the fingertip of our hands. But if it's at the fingertip of your hands and you try, you cannot get it or you cannot understand it, then you refer back to the professional rather than you just go back online and just do a Google research, because Google is going to give you another answer, and then you're going to try another thing. And actually, that was the answer just now that you could have used, but you go and try another thing because Google or YouTube tell you another thing. So don't get confused. Have a concrete plan, put it in your mind spiritually, and then have a holistic plan. When we talk about holistic plan, don't just plan on gyms, but plan on a lot of activities. Okay, maybe on the weekends, I'll do one badminton session as a cardio. And then on the weekdays, I'll do 2 weight session. And at the same time, I'll do probably one HIIT session. Then it will be fun. You'll be looking forward to, oh, this day is this day is this. And then when you have a proper planning, you adjust it and you synchronize it with your work. Then there you have it. Everything is all in plan. Even if it changes, then you are free to change because you are a boss end of the day, or you are an entrepreneur end of the day. You can actually make adjustments. So as long as you do it within that week, you fulfill the minimum session, you're actually on a good page lah. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm. I'm very near to you lah. You can look for me. For you is at the advantage. I'm very near to you, bro.
Sure, bro.
Yeah, compared to Zaha, you're very near to me. So you can just pop by in front of my door, Zack, I need answer for this, okay? And you have the answer already. Other people have to fly from Bandung over here, or maybe from, like Mac have to fly from South Africa to here. For your case, you're already down here already lah.
I know, buddy. That adds on to the pressure, actually.
You were saying that you also do this through online, right?
Correct.
So you actually do it for the consultation, or you actually
Okay.
help?
I do, but the thing is that this would depend on which level you are. When we talk about online personal training and online consultation, yes, I do it for everybody. But online personal training, I would have a assessment day with you first to see whether are you eligible for my online personal training. Because to be in my online personal training, you have to have a certain area, location, and you have to have a certain knowledge and basic development. If you don't fulfill a certain part of it, even though I can just say that, oh, okay lah, can lah, you can. I'll be that trainer who just wants your money, right? I can do it. But the thing is that end of the day, I'm not going to give you result. I'm not going to sustain you. Trust me, most of my clients have been with me for like, I think the shortest also like 4 years, 3 years. They are still with me even though they already achieved their goal. Because when they do it on their own, they don't feel the same as they do with me. I'm like their walking fitness diary lah. As and when 3, 4 a.m. they want me, they just call me in the morning when they feel they are early person today, 5:30 a.m. Zack, I need answer for this, they call me. So they love that kind of so-called assistance lah. So I work around the clock also, but then again, like I said, I have to find time to nap in between, so it's, if I can do it, like I said, it is never impossible for you guys lah. Yeah, but that's the answer for your online. I think yes, I do.
All right, great. And oh yeah, before I forget, I actually wanted to ask this question.
Okay.
When you actually start the business, right?
Okay.
Do you wish that you actually know everything, because I'm sure there's something that you don't know, right? And
okay, to be
when
honest, this idea of starting a gym is a dream as much as a dream when I was a footballer that I want to be like on the national stage also, like it's the same. So I have this so-called gym opening idea and opportunity, to be honest, right at my early 20s, to be honest. I have investors who are ready. I have a target that, oh, I can save this kind of amount and everything. But then again, at that period, I just asked myself, how much do I know? I only know a certain bodybuilding thing. I only know a certain sports performance and development thing. Is it fair for me to open a gym? And then how so when I start to sit in and I start to do a lot of reflection, I know that I'm not ready. So it takes me like actually a decade right now to finally, then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start this because I know A, I know B, I know up to Z. Even if I don't know up to Z, what are the alternative for A, B, C, and everything? Then it will be fair for people because, like I said, when I start this business, it's more for me actually to provide that gift back to people. But if I myself haven't actually achieved or actually haven't experienced or haven't managed to overcome the worst of the storm, how can I actually help people when they get into the storm? I might be the person who run out of the storm, or you're in your own storm, not my problem. You see, so I don't want to be that person. I want to be a gym whereby everyone can come here and everyone can get a solution regardless of what is your situation, what is your fitness needs, or what kind of so-called fitness enthusiastic level you have. So that's the key point, being universal, then you can be unique. Yeah, so that's where this is where I finally start the gym.
Interesting. Thank you, Zack.
No problem.
Right, we are almost ending our session.
Yeah,
But we actually miss our one of our key point in the session to interview our participants.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it then.
I think we have this interesting participant who is not from Asia, Mac. Mac, would you mind sharing us what you actually do in your business in Singapore?
Yeah, well, I thought you were going to put me on the spot here.
well, you are in the spot now.
Well, I was. This is an easy question to answer, but yeah. So thanks for the question. So and your question much earlier was very relevant as well. So I am in the fintech business, and I'm currently COO for a global fintech company where we're based in Dubai, Middle East, and APAC. And we do core banking and Islamic banking solutions to our customers. So that's just in short. So yeah, it's very relevant to the question earlier. How do we actually find the time? I used to have more time during COVID, but since I started my role recently and I made the transition, time is actually a luxury. So I don't have a question really, but that is because the question was asked earlier in terms of how do we find the time when we're really busy. So I guess that was answered.
I think Zaha forget to unlock his mic.
Oh yeah, sorry.
but hang in there, guys, because when Max speak, right, it sounds like she's from some CNN or some TV show. So she does have that TV show speech lah.
Yeah. Then yes, she does. All right, Meg. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining our Zoom networking. We hope that we would not stop here, and we should keep in touch more. Yes, I will just keep posted. I mean, we have all your contacts and whatnot. Probably put you in a group as well. All right.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Yes. Siraj, do you have anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much, Zack, for joining us this morning. Meg, Kevin, and all of us over here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for
And
the
definitely all this information that we have, we should start to practice it, because information without practice also isn't worthwhile. So maybe in the future, like we've discussed with Zack, to actually bring some of our Zoom networkers to join in at his gym and get the flap out of the fat. All right.
I like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, Kevin. Thank you for joining, Kevin. Didn't expect to see you here.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Zack. Thank you, Zack.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin, for your time.
Welcome.
Bye.
All right, Zack.
Okay, Zaha.
That is a good 2 hours sharing.
Yeah, it flies very fast, huh?
Yeah, time's really fast. Hope to see you soon. I mean, physically see
Yeah.
you. I mean,
We should catch up.
yeah, and we can talk about a lot more about football.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Again, thank you for joining. Hope to see you all again next week. Next week will be we coming up with one different topic. We'll just keep you posted and hope to see you all again. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. We have Ria, Kai.
Hi, sir.
Okay, wait. I need to double check. Where is he? Wait. How are you, Ria?
No, I'm good, sir. How about you?
Good. Farah, are you there? Okay, now we can Tosh meeting.
Sorry. Stop the streaming.
Semua orang tunggu ni. Ni kita ada.
Streaming tu dah boleh stop.
Oh, kau stop
Tak, I don't think we need to stream this on Facebook. Dah boleh stop.
Sorry.